Hey, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Andrea Coulter. I'm a doctor of medical health and homeopathy and the founder of the Ome Healing System, which you can check out in the links below. And today, I'm talking about chronic health issues that you just can't quite get over. Have you ever had a health issue that you struggled with and you just couldn't seem to find a solution for? You went to conventional meds, you tried that whole route, you even probably had a bunch of tests done, and they really couldn't find anything conclusive. And you even went the natural route. You tried all this natural stuff and, you kind of sort of got better, but then really you just never felt 100% ever since that one illness or that one issue that flared up, and it just never went away. Have you ever had that? And maybe you're struggling with it right now. If you are, make sure you stick around and watch this whole video because I'm going to explain to you the reason why that is. There is a threefold reason why we never fully recover from really big issues. And remember, if you love to take care of your own health in the most effective ways, ring the bell and subscribe and stick around because every Tuesday I share my 35 plus years of experience in the health and wellness industry with you so that you can make the necessary changes in your life to feel amazing. So when we get sick or we just don't feel right, of course we always know this because we have physical symptoms we just don't enjoy. Aches and pains and just upsets that drive us to find an answer. That's what our physical symptoms are. We are a physical chemical being, and in order to make ourselves feel better, we're going to try to find a solution of some sort to get rid of those symptoms. Now here's the thing. You can go to conventional medicine and you can take something that is, going to get rid of those symptoms like a pain reliever. However, the problem is in the long run, if you're not really solving the problem holistically, the trifecta as I call it, then you're not really ever solving the problem, and then you only have to keep getting heavier and heavier and heavier with medication to keep your symptoms at bay. So today I wanted to share with you the trifecta of true health and healing, what I discovered in my own journey. Because I got really sick as a teenager and I did the whole conventional gamut. I was on all kinds of pain meds. I had all kinds of tests done and they just couldn't find anything conclusive. And maybe you've had something like this. And so their solution was to just drug me up. And so I was basically in a coma for months. I couldn't barely get up and go to the bathroom. And finally one day I woke up and I said, okay, I'm not doing this anymore. So my mom and I at the time, way back in the early 80s, we came across a naturopath and started to make some changes in both of our health and our lives at the time. And so I changed my diet, I did cleanses, I did detoxes, I boosted up my cellular energy with nutraceuticals, and I learned about homeopathy and about spirituerics and herbs and did the whole natural route. And it really picked up my energy and I felt like $1,000,000 for a while. But what's interesting is even though I lived that really holistic lifestyle, as the years wore on and I got older, I was in my 20s and I was working and I was struggling, get through life, there was another component that started to really weigh on me. And no matter how much I took care of myself on a physical level, I just didn't feel 100%. I just didn't feel like I thought I should be feeling in life. And here's why. So there are two other components to taking care of your whole health. Yes, we have a physical chemical body. That is number one. And within that physical chemical body, there are 4 things that you need to take care of. And I'm going to go into that in the next video. However, today we're talking about the piece that you might be missing if you're struggling with chronic health issues and you're just not getting better no matter how many things you've tried and no matter how clean you're eating. In fact, I get a lot of clients that come to me and they're living in this incredible little bubble of wellness. I can only eat this and I can only have that and I can only do this and I have to make sure I get all this. And I get it because I had metabolic syndrome. I've had it since I was born, a lot of diabetics in my family, a lot of cancer in my family, and heart disease. And they are all linked to poor nutritional and cellular deficiency. And what I also found is because I have a predisposition, especially to diabetes, I was hypoglycemic as a kid, spent a lot of time being foggy and dizzy and just not feeling 100%. But as I got older and I got fixing those things on a physical level, I felt better energetically to a degree, but I didn't feel better emotionally or mentally. And the other component to getting better completely for me was actually looking at the emotional and the mental wellness aspect of my life. I hadn't actually stopped to look at, well, what's going on in my brain? And I've done videos on monkey brain and all that kind of stuff. And I will continue to do videos because really my specialty in my practice is looking at the state of mind that is affecting your physical chemical body. And that's the key to really finding true health and recovery, is actually looking at the mental and the emotional component. So your body has a threefold being. We all know we have a physical body. We can see it. However, we also have what often metaphysical calls the soul and the spirit. Now, I'm not a real woo-woo person. Now, I will say I did go into that world to start getting myself better in the 80s and the early 90s. And felt that it really, really helped. And looking at our mental and emotional well-being is vitally important, especially in this day and age. We are getting sicker as a society on a more mental, emotional level than just the physical. And so we have to start looking at this. And I think this pandemic has really brought that awareness up, that we have to start looking at every component to keeping our health and wellness up here. And those two components are the mental and the emotional. So when you look at soul and spiritual stuff, really what they're saying is the soul is your emotional body, and the spirit is your thoughts, your intellect, your knowing, if you will. And so whenever you read anything that says soul and spirit, just think emotions and thoughts. Makes it easier. And that's how I break it up when I have my healing kits in those booklets. I actually break that up for you so you really understand how to address your thoughts, your beliefs, and your emotions so that you can finally heal and recover whatever it is that is weighing you down. Because, yep, we're born with a genetic makeup, a DNA, RNA, and in that we also have weaknesses and predispositions, which I talk about in my healing kits. However, along with the genetic physical makeup, that you also carry thought patterns, you carry belief patterns. These are all inherited and you absorb them as an infant. Whether you want to or not, you do. So whatever's going on in your family lineage around you, in the thoughts and the belief structures and the emotional reactions to those, you're going to carry those exact states, whether you want them or not. So the only way to free yourself of that baggage over time is to start to be more aware of when your emotions get out of control, when you react externally to anything, whether it's a thought, whether it's someone saying something to you, or whether it's an incident you're just looking at, whatever it is, if your emotions well up inside of you, that's the first indicator that you're carrying an old habit, an old thought, an old belief that isn't actually serving you in your highest and best good. Or it might be that it's trying to tell you, I need to solve this. I'm carrying around this emotional weight, and life throws things at you for you to be aware of it. Just like with our physical body. Things happen and we feel the physical symptom and we go, oh, I have an issue. I gotta fix this. Well, now's the time to start to really recognize your emotional patterns that are maybe not helping you be the healthiest, most amazing balanced person you can be. Because if you have baggage, emotional and mental baggage, we all do, and it's not really helping you evolve your own soul, spiritual being in the right way, it needs to be looked at. So that is my recommendation for today, is to really start to just maybe even journal. Every time you have an emotional reaction, stop and reflect on it. Ooh, what's stirring this up? It's yours. It's not the things that triggered it. It's yours. Your reaction is uniquely yours, which is why two people can be standing beside each other, and when something happens, you react this way and they react a different way. Why? Because that's your stuff. Take some time this next week and really start to reflect on your emotions and what keeps coming up. In fact, what is the pattern of emotional issues that keep irritating you? Those are the things you need to be looking at. And we'll go a little deeper into next week into the thought maybe and the belief patterns behind that and some ways that you can help to really start finally resolving those. But to start with, to look at your emotions, go below and grab one of my IOME healing kits that deal with that specific emotional state if you need it. Or if you're not really sure, well, I got a whole whack of emotional stuff that's going on. If that's the case, then grab my JUMPSTART kit because it kind of addresses and calms everything down so that you can be clearer as to the exact path you need to go down to make your life the best that it can be. So I hope you liked this video this week. Remember, ring the bell, subscribe, and stick around, as well as check out these next videos that help you go a little deeper into those emotional states. So maybe you can start looking at how your emotions are affecting you on a physical level so you're more aware of what that emotion is. Till next week, remember, be authentic, be empowered, and own it completely. Bye.